Hello everyone, welcome to a mini series of Daring December, where we are bringing up to you topics that are more challenging, more toxic for parents as well as teenagers, our kids. And it's very difficult for each one of us to understand how to tackle such issues in our life. Today, in our first mini series, we have Amrit Pal, who is a career coach, Devna Parikh, who is a career counselor and a teen coach, and Deepa Agarwal, who is a child skills expert coach. Today's topic of our mini series is how do we help our teens in saying no to substance abuse? As we all know that today's generation is so attracted to the negativity around us, to the peer pressure around us, that they are so prone to use such substances around us. As parents, how can we help our kids in various ways? Here, I would like Deepa to come and put her inputs that how is it that she can provide us with some help for the same.
Sure. Thank you so much for introducing me. I'm Deepa Agarwal, as Sakshi told me. So, being a child expert, what I mean to say is I help the children in understanding what are the expertise that they will require to be able to navigate through their student life and and become a good individual as they grow older. So, coming into this topic that Sakshi has posed right now, the substance abuse. I think the roots of the teens are grown during their childhood. As you know, even when the Gurukul system was going on, the gurus used to say, leave your child with me for 7 years and I will give you an individual. So that is the impact of the childhood. So that's how it happens. If the child was not able to control the urge of eating something that is not organic, something that is not good for his health in the initial stages, and the parents were not able to make the child understand, maybe at the later ages, the child will automatically pick up anything that is not good for his health. Secondly, if you see the major thing, what a psychologist also have observed is the instant gratification, the habit of satisfying your child as and when the child wants something. That is something that we all are doing as a parent, because we think that yes, definitely when we are able to afford it, why not? And that's how we keep pampering our children, and also we want to compensate the time that we are not able to give to them. So this has become a very common thing, but that is one major cause of the substance abuse, because children want what they want at the time they want it. So we are growing that kind of generation by giving them instant gratification. If you delay the gratification, definitely the child will understand the nuances of using something and having the repercussions of what the child is using onto himself. So that is definitely we have to something that we have to teach the child from the childhood itself. Whatever they are eating, like for example, I have used it for my child when she was using kurkure. I told her many times that you should not use kurkure. Why? Sorry for don't think that why am I talking about kurkure when we are talking about substance abuse? But both of them are really closely related. So when she was not able to give it up, even after several requests, because she picked up that habit from one of the friends in the school, uh, I showed her on one day standing with me near the stove. She saw how the kurkure burnt into like plastic and it smelled so bad. After that, she never touched it. So that kind of impact, I think that parents need to give them. That's how they have to explain it, not just by saying no, but telling them why they are saying no and what are the things that are yes and yes for them. Generally, we stop at telling no, but we have to also replace it with something yummy, tastier, healthier. That's how the child will also start thinking when he grows up. And as you all know, major issue for any substance abusing person, the reason would be from the childhood, any childhood trauma or abuse that the child might have gone through. Not even self, even the neighborhoods, things that the child might have seen, even on pets. If somebody might have abusing the pet also, that will have a greater impact on their mind. And that's how they start slowly accumulating the data. And when they grow into the later ages, they start using this all. So the best thing is, please observe your child from the childhood. Show him what is the right way, what should not be eaten, even under the pressure of the peer. What is the right decision? How the child has to differentiate between what has to be eaten, what has not to be taken up. Not eating or taking something inside the body is not for pleasure, but for good health. That should be the solid foundation every parent should try to give their child. That's what I recommend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deepa. This is really insightful. When, if we are more aware as parents to begin the journey of our kids, yet, today as parents who are watching this are more focused on teens, we are just wanting, we would just love to have Devna's input as well, being a teen coach, that they have already reached this age. I understand Deepa's ideas are brilliant to bring up their childhood in a beautiful way. But if the kids are already as teens, already inclined to substance abuse, Devna, how do you think we can help them?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for introducing me, Sakshi. I am Devna Parikh, the career coach, and also a child psychologist, where I'm helping children through my counseling sessions to come out of some kind of addictions, problems, peer group pressure, and lots more. So there is a systematic procedure, systematic sessions through which a child can come out of these kind of problems. As Deepa rightly put it, the base years. So Deepa is a child skill development coach for kids from age 5 to 12. And that is the base year. That is the foundation year. During those years, first of all, we have to be very vigilant. If people in the family itself are indulging themselves into smoking, drinking, probably parents, grandparents, uncle, aunts, we have weddings, we have festivals. This all has become norm. Today in all the houses, this all is going on and children are watching, oh, this is the party time. So we are passively setting a wrong example for them. I know it is very difficult to stop all this because we as adults, even we need to rejuvenate, we need to party, we also need to have our set of friends and relatives during festivals, during our birthday parties or whatsoever. What I will suggest to parents that try to keep these parties totally private, where children don't have access to it. If also you're having a house party, make sure that the children are either at grandparents' house or some relative's house and they don't get such kind of exposure. When the children is in the age group of 5 to 12, they are just your replicas. Please understand that. And one fine day when they become teenagers, they feel this all is very normal because my parents were doing the same thing during special occasions. So it's my birthday, I will drink. It's my birthday, I will smoke. So these are the wrong examples that are created at young years. Now, as Sakshi has put up a question that how we can deal with children who are already indulged into all this. I'll give you one example. 2 days back in my son's school, he's 16-year-old, there was an inspection that took place. They were checking all the children's bag. Inside the bag, they have found mobile phones, vapes, a lot of cosmetics in girls' handbags, perfumes, and lots more. So the school has confiscated their mobile phones. They have confiscated the vapes. And they have given them the warning, they have given them the ultimatum that they will get these all things at the end of the academic year. Some children moved out of the school. Towards the end of the school, they cried profusely because they were detached from their phone and they know that the academic year will get over after 3-4 months. They will not have access to their phone. Some children were carrying vapes also. What I feel at this point, instead of being so strict with students, shouldn't school be coming up with some workshops which gives them remedies? Shouldn't school be conducting some preventive measures and programs to understand children better and create a better awareness for them? Just taking strict measures, confiscating their things, they think is a solution. Most of the teens were distressed. Instead, during the workshops, during such preventive programs, they should put it across that how vaping, drinking, all is bringing ill effects to their health. It is not a good sign. I'm seeing as young as 16, 17-year-old children with acne, with wrinkles, with so much of skin problem, with so much of hair problem. All that is happening because of consumption of alcohol, vaping, and maybe some children are going to an extent of consuming drugs as well. So my point is create prevention in young years when they are very young. You can mold them. And if they are teens, if they have already got into this, there should be some substance abuse management programs conducted at school level. And in the end, I'll put it, if the case is very severe, if you feel that the child is totally addicted, then the child should be taken to a rehab center, because just some sessions with a psychologist will not create any remedy. So we have to understand whether the child just needs parents' communication. The second step is you go to a counselor, a child psychologist, and take 5 to 7 sessions. And if that doesn't work, if it is in an extreme, if the intensity is very high, I would highly suggest that a rehab center can work better. And don't get scared or have some fear with the rehab center. They work holistically. They are very positive. They create a positive mindset. So it would be all the more easier and better. We should not shy away from doing all these steps. Of course, you cannot tell your friends, relatives, or in society, but these steps will really bring big changes in a child. And please understand where your child is spending money. When you are giving a pocket money, how are they getting opportunity to buy expensive drinks or vapes or those kind of things? That means you are giving access to money. Make sure you put restrictions. Make sure they are accountable for the money that they have taken from you. So parents, be very vigilant with your teen kids.
Thank you, Devna. Amazing insights. I think we all can relate to what you're saying. And one thing that I would like to add here is these ideas or tips can be taken into account when you as a parent, when we as parents are aware that our kids are into substance abuse, or for that matter, even if we are aware and they are not aware, that we know that they are, indulging into wrong habits or, into wrong friendships at times. Some toxic people enter and it just happens. And I don't blame the kids. I wouldn't say any friend to be toxic, because everybody is somewhere stuck and everybody needs help. So I wouldn't say toxic to any kid for that matter. Now, my point is, even we as adults don't like to be pinpointed that we are wrong. And kids have become even more adamant for the same, that if you tell them you are doing something wrong, they cannot take it. So, Amrit, can you highlight something on this, that how do we approach this without putting them into a situation or making them feel guilty, just as Devna said, being strict, like a principal confiscating devices or the e-cigarettes? How do we politely bring it up? Yes, as she said, maybe a workshop, but every time maybe a workshop is not so feasible for them because they feel they are attacked. Somebody is telling us indirectly. So as parents, how do we bring up something different in different ways and techniques, just making them understand in a way that think, as we used to say, good touch or a bad touch. We have made our children understand some things. Can you highlight some technique on this point of view?
Sure. Thank you, Sakshi. Hello, everyone. I'm Amrit Pal, and I help corporates to navigate their corporate journeys with ease. Here, Sakshi, the question is very, very important about the substance abuse, and I really resonate with the ideas of Deepa and Devna, that it has to be channelized right from the childhood. Again, parenting has become such a critical thing nowadays. While we were growing, it was not like that. Parents were going with the flow, and they were, one thing, always emotionally available and physically available. And today the major challenge is that both the parents are working, so sometimes they are not available, and we can understand their stress as well when they are dealing. But if at all they have dealt with it, if at all the teenager has reached the point where he is an adult and he is into it, because I deal a lot of people when they just start and start working in corporates. I'm giving you one very quick example of it. One of our new joinee, he was just college pass out, but he was a chain smoker. So obviously, every 10 minutes I cannot give the break for smoke. it was getting very difficult, and it was really getting a bad example for others who were not taking so frequent abuses, these breaks. Sorry about it. So I had a one-on-one meeting with him, and I told him why he is doing it. He said that my mom is not there, my father is not there, and I got into this habit through my friends. So what I did was, in a second meeting, I introduced him with some videos, what kind of side effects this chain smoking can lead to. I didn't judge him that yes, this is what he is doing. I was quite empathetic as a operations manager, where I was listening to him not as a mother but as a detached counselor. And while watching that video, he started weeping. He said, I wish that someone might have told me when I started. Right? Of course, I can understand the parents' problem, and gradually I gave him some steps how to reduce the this habit of smoking, step by step. And today it is almost 5 years. He has reached. He was unable to leave it, but 2-3 cigarettes a day he still reached. Right. So when we are dealing with this kind of situation, number one, you should not give immediate advice. Listen to them empathetically, validate their feelings from where they started, avoid criticism. These things are very, very important. If we are going to judge them at every step, right, when they start communicating with you, they will again get into the shell that no one is there for me. So again, I say, listen to them without any criticism, without giving any advice, validate their feelings, practice active and empathetic listening. So these are very important when you are dealing with such situation. And this can also be introduced right from the childhood. Parents, I understand, if they are working, at least they can spend 15-20 minutes with their child to understand what they are going through, so that one, they don't get into the shell of not communicating, not sharing their problems. Because for a child, if their book is missing, or if someone has stolen something, a pencil or a rubber, it's a big thing for them. Some kids are unable to deal with it. And if a child is coming to you and speaking about a problem, validate it, and then you can share your own stories. Okay, I also felt like this, because then empathy comes in, and then give the solution that next time if this happens, you can do this. So it's about, it is not just that you are teaching only studies. No, life skills are also very important. It has to be cultivated from the home. And in teenage also, don't think that now my work is done, I have provided the food, I'm giving the money, and my work is done. It's not that. Parenting is a lifelong journey. Even a married child might ask certain advices, so be their advisor rather than their, I am the mother and I am the father. You cannot
Decision
own
maker.
them. So
Awesome.
owning is not a point. Being there for them, communicating, and then connecting with their emotions. That's very important. And once the connection is built, even if you are there for a lesser period of time physically, they still are there to ask about their problems. And that is what the parents' responsibility is, because physically every time it is not possible in today's culture.
Awesome. Yes, Amrit, I think it was quite relevant and to the point what we were trying to ask. Devna, I would like if you would add some input to it.
Yes, so I will just want to end this conversation saying that कि अगर आप बच्चों को rationally और sensibly ill effects के बारे में बताएंगे, right from cancer to respiratory disorder to infertility, a lot of issues are happening because of such wrong addictions, because of substance abuse. If you explain them, I'm sure they will absorb it, they will understand. If scientifically it is shown that this can have a bad effect on your organs and growth, they will definitely make sure that they don't get into such kind of addiction, because it will ruin their health for sure. Forget the societal pressure, forget the impression that one has to create in front of the society that my child is the best kind of a thing. That becomes secondary, but it will also ruin up their health. So let's make sure that children are not getting into this, because health-wise also, this is not what will work for them.
Yes, Deepa.
Thanks.
I just wanted to add one thing, that people are also getting into this just to look cool. The tagline of getting cool, because every hero, every villain uses it, and everything, and the picturization is so heavily onto getting into their brain, and just a tagline saying that this substance is not good for their health is not supporting them at all. So that is where their children are getting into being and looking cool, feeling good about themselves. So we have to guide them at the right point then and there itself, that it is not as cool as they other people think, or as it is shown on the media. It is not the truth.
Great.
Right, Deepa. Just a statutory warning will not solve the problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Amrit, Devna, and Deepa, for your insights. And I really, really agree to each one of you. Just as a point of view from a happiness coach, I would say to parents, one small key note that we take away from today's session is to build that connect with your child. At the same time, be kind and compassionate to yourself as well as to your child, because it's a journey, it's a process, whether you want them to come out of it or whether you want them to understand that substance abuse is not good for them. We have to be slow, we have to be patient to see that how much are they absorbing. And sometimes I know, however harsh it is, we may have to allow them to do a mistake to pull them back, rather than, they say you keep stretching an rubber band and you pull it, pull it, pull it, you're being stricter and they just go and do everything that they want to do. So just be kind and patient to them, understand them, and be with them. If they have done a mistake, still be with them. That's it. I would love to tell this to the parents. Thank you so much for being there for our mini series of the first season of our mini series of Daring December. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.